Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap.
Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap.
Let's go. Zen.
Trap.
Zen.
Trap.
Zen.
Trap.
Zen.
Trap.
Protect.
Yo, peace.
Protect your energy. Welcome back to the Zen Trap podcast. We got another special ZTP Zen Trap Perspective for you today. I'm one of your two hosts, Zen P.
Yogi LG.
And Yogi LG, tell me what book we're reviewing today.
All right, today we are reviewing the 4-Hour Workweek. This is by Timothy Ferriss. And it says on here, escape the 9 to 5, live anywhere, and join the new rich.
So for somebody who's never read this book, who would you recommend this book to?
I would recommend this book probably to anybody that is trying to change their lifestyle. Literally on the back, it says, do not read this book unless you want a new way of living. And it says warning. So anyone trying to change their lifestyle, like if you want to live differently than how you're doing now, let's say you're living a 9 to 5 or even, you're doing some night job or whatever your job is, you don't want to live that way anymore. He has this concept called New Rich. It's about joining this group of people that live as though they're rich. And maybe they aren't classified as rich. So I would explain it as basically a concept on how to join that group of people. And for me, it was an efficiency, like clinic almost.
Oh, yeah.
On how to be efficient, how to really tackle things and head on and like maximize your time. So definitely if you're trying to be efficient, I would recommend this as well.
And being busy don't mean you're efficient.
Come on now.
Being busy don't mean you're productive.
You just busy.
You could just be
whole
busy.
Lot of motion, not a lot of action.
Or a whole lot of action, just not towards your goal.
That too. So who would you recommend it to?
Same. People trying to change their lives. Again, like you said, it's an efficiency clinic. So anybody looking to try and figure out if there's ways for you to improve something you're doing, whether it's something at work in your personal life, if you're looking for a different way to think outside of the box, looking for solutions to make you better. Like if you think you're doing perfect right now and you want to see if you possibly could be improving on your perfect, read this book.
Absolutely. I agree 1,000%. All right. Let's see. How would you describe it to someone who's never read it?
I would describe this almost as a manual on trying to teach you concepts and principles to think about and consider and to apply to different methods that fit your lifestyle and your definition of what you want to deem as successful. It gives you a new way of defining success for you. And it gives you, again, like techniques and principles, like almost step-by-step, broad general guides with like work studies and examples and quoted resources that you can go and look up for yourself to vet, to build the life that you want to live, that you can determine if you would even like to build that life, and how like anybody can be an entrepreneur if they want to. What about you? How would you?
I would describe it as something similar. I think the biggest thing I would describe would probably be that one-liner where he talks about DEAL, and DEAL stands for definition, elimination, automation, and liberation. And so the book is kind of split up into those type of steps and everything that needs to happen in those steps for you to join the new rich, for you to live a different type of lifestyle. If you there's something in each of those sections for every person that's looking to change their life, whether you're an employee, entrepreneur, whatever.
Boss, CEO, janitor, teacher.
Anything. There are things in this book and each of those DEAL letters that can definitely help you. So that's how I would describe it.
Man, let's get to my favorite part. F all the bull.
All right, cool.
Give me some bars. What's your favorite bar? Start with your favorite, or start from some of your mids all the way up to your favorite.
Mids, let me see.
I got so many favorites as usual.
All right, so the other thing about this book is it was pretty comical. Like,
oh yeah, he has a
he has this
That's
dry humor.
I definitely can drink with him at a bar.
Yeah, he has this dry humor, and he says, I pointed that out in a lot of places in the book. He'll say like, "This is stupid," like just like clear as
to
day.
let you know, like, hey, I'm not.
Like,
I recognize this is dumb that you have to go about it this way.
All right, so I'm gonna just tell you like some of my favorite concepts, and maybe bars in the middle of that. But the comfort challenge. So he has this comfort challenge.
I'm gonna fix my face. I'm sorry. It's like, what are you talking about? Bars or concepts? Are these stories? Or it's fine. Do it that way.
Okay.
Comfort challenge.
All right, comfort challenge. So he says you get 2 phone numbers, or get phone numbers for 2 days. That's what it is. And he's basically like, you gotta be sure you maintain eye contact, and ask for phone numbers, at least 2, of attractive members of the opposite sex on each day. And this does not exclude women or anybody else. He's looking at me like that because we actually practice that often.
Oh, we practice. We practice it. We practice it. Do we practice it, or does it just get suggested as a game often, and we just never end up following through?
Oh, hey, don't do that. We don't. follow
Okay,
through.
my bad.
Chill out, man. We don't follow through. So it is something that we
tried
do.
to play the game like 20 times, and we probably done got through it like 3. Is what I can remember.
I think that's on both sides. I think I done had a few challenges, similar comfort challenges that you ain't deliver on as well.
Hey, we talk about that offline.
Right. Either way, it was things like that he was putting in the book that was just like, man, I'm seeing it in us already, as well as I think one day he was talking about keeping eye contact with some people. Like for 3 days. Just
Y'all did that in China?
Yeah, exactly. We did it in China.
Y'all did it in China. I mean, tell them about it.
So while we were in China, of course, we're black, right? So people are staring. It's like, for real, in some of these smaller cities in China, they've never seen black people. And so the darker you are, the more they're excited. Like, oh my God, they're black. So people were staring at us. We're on the trains, just kind of running around China. 4 black girls, 5 maybe. I don't know. It was somebody else that was with us. So we started staring at people, like making eye contact. When they looked at us, we would just look back, and like the first to like look away lost. But we ain't take no L's. Like, we was winning. We was gonna wait till they stopped looking at us. We had these little stare offs. It was pretty cool. It was pretty intense. We made it a game, but it was really like we was.
Yeah, when I read that comfort challenge, it made me immediately think of when y'all told that story. I was like, oh dang, they already did that.
Yeah, so just things like that that you didn't even realize like can be a challenge for some people, or even a challenge for me still. Like sometimes
for a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't even be looking at like and he even brings up like keeping eye contact while you're talking or while you're listening. It's one of the other.
While you're listening, probably.
While you're listening. He was like, it's easy to do while you're talking, but while you're listening, keep eye contact with a person. I was like, oh, that's tough. Is that tough? That's tough for me.
It's not tough for me.
Oh,
no.
It's not tough for you?
No. It's not a problem for me.
Cool, got it. I noticed that I don't. What's one of your favorite bars though?
What? You ain't got no more bars? Or?
I mean, I got more bars.
All right, cool. I'll do one. Let's see. If I go to page 305. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna start with my favorite. I'm gonna just start with one that's close to it.
Okay.
All right. For the past 33 years, I have looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. Almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. That quote is from Steve Jobs, college dropout and CEO of Apple Computer.
That's pretty good. I love that. I really did.
Bars.
Especially the too many days in a row.
Yeah, not like something crazy like
exactly.
Every day I got to be able to say yes.
No. I love that.
You got consistent days of saying no after a while. You need to have a little control. Like if I don't know. You got to determine what it is for you. 2 weeks, a week, 5 days, whatever it is for you. Something got to change.
But immediately when you think about that, it realigns you to your focus. Like, wait,
every day it realigns your focus.
Every day it's like, hold on, am I doing?
What am I doing today? Am I gonna hate today already? Do I think I'm gonna hate today? And you could get to the end of the day and be like, this was the best day ever.
Yeah.
The day I thought was gonna be tragic.
Yeah.
Horrible. Had the best time ever.
That's true.
So you may need to readjust at the end of the night and see if you got like 2 no's. You know,
To
just
like,
take it a step further.
ooh,
Come on,
okay.
man.
Like,
Because at the end of the day, you could have flipped it. You thought like, man, I don't want to do what I'm doing today, so no. Then you get to the end of the day, is it still no?
but
And
is
how
that
many
because
of
your goal
those?
changed?
Who knows what it could be?
Ooh.
I don't know. I don't know what happened in the day.
I'm just saying. My thing is, if you set out for a goal and you set out to do whatever you're gonna do for that day, right? And you're thinking in the morning, like, am I doing what I want to do today as I'm planning out my day? And you get to the end of the day, you did those things, and you thought in the beginning of the day you weren't gonna like it, but at the end of the day you did. Then did your goal change?
I mean, that's one question of many you could ask about what made it a good day, is
That's
what I
true.
was saying.
That's true. That's true. All right. I got something for you. Problems, as a rule, solve themselves or disappear when you remove yourself as an information bottleneck and empower others. So I thought that was good because I often feel like I have to fix all the problems. Like, oh, there's a problem? Let me do it. Even if somebody asks for help, I even sometimes am that person like, oh, I'll just do it. So in that, read that, like, sometimes if you just remove yourself from it, the issue will disappear. And you're empowering others by just taking yourself out.
That's what I like to call it. I'm empowering you by not doing nothing. And you don't even know it.
Yeah.
Delegation.
Yeah, but I even think like I can use that on like a sore subject for me is trips, like travel and stuff like that. We go with a big group of people and I feel responsible for everything. Like I got to plan everything. Stuff will get worked out. I just step back and remove myself from it. Then I don't have to, I won't fix it, but it'll get fixed.
Yeah. And I think the only thing we got to work on with that, because I mean, me too, is communicating that I'm pulling myself back versus having people just in limbo when they're blindsided.
Hey, blindsided.
Hey, what's that? You
talking to me?
Oh. Yes, you nigga. You usually plan this stuff. What's happening?
You booked the flights. Oh, yeah, true.
All right, I'm gonna hit you with. This is my favorite bar, and I'm gonna put it like 3 bars together into one, but it's the same concept in like almost 3 different bars. So,
right.
If you don't have attention, you don't have time. Time without attention is worthless. So value attention over time. Be focused on work or focused on something else, never in between. Income is renewable, but some other resources like attention are not. I've talked before about attention as a currency and how it determines the value of time. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But like, let me make sure. I think I wrote something else on the front cover. Yeah, that's what I wrote. Like, attention, if you think about it as a form of currency along with time, it opens up a whole new perspective for you. Because then it just starts going into how you can get into like a minimal lifestyle, and I'll probably talk more about that in the like stories and stuff, but as concepts. But the bar itself for me, if you start just thinking about, because a lot of times we talk about how our time is valuable and stuff like that, but we don't take it a step further with like, I'll give an example. Your father, your parent coming to your game, but they sitting on their laptop the whole time. Every time you look over there while you playing or something to see if they're watching, they not. You can't even get like that eye contact of like, yeah, come on, keep going. That was invaluable to the person that was there wanting your attention. So your time, it's not just your time, it's about your attention and being in that moment and bringing everything cumulatively together.
Right. Which is why I think over and over we hear don't multitask. Right? Because how can you give all of your attention to multiple things at one time? And I even think that's a really good example also because not only did it not deliver on, it didn't hit like it was supposed to, that dad being at that game, it also made it worse.
It worse.
And I realized with me, if I come to somebody like, hey, you got time for me? Yeah, go ahead. But I'm doing other stuff the whole time. How am I making them feel? Right? And they don't got my attention. They just got my time. You just filling up space while I'm really paying attention to something else. So yeah, that was a good one. I got one I thought was interesting. It's by Albert Einstein.
Okay.
Reading after a certain age diverts the mind too much from its creative pursuits. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. And I thought that was very, very good in the sense that a lot of people, or even me right now, reading a lot of books, getting a lot of information, sometimes I focus a lot on what the book say or refer to that versus allowing my heart to lead me, my brain to lead me, to know that you have the information there, you know the concepts, you just got to practice it. It's there. So just trusting my brain in that sense. Instead of relying on like, oh, do I need to go back and read that chapter on fear?
You know, it's funny. I heard somebody talk like that before.
What?
About what you're talking about, like learning that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it was? You know
who?
You.
Full of shit.
Lindsay in college. She was telling me like junior year. I remember it. Like, man, I don't even really care if I get a C like that because I'm more focused on the learning than I am on getting the A. Because all these people they in there like, you know, they just know it, so they just doing it, but they forget it like the next semester. But when I go in there and I practice the work, I really be knowing this stuff, and I can talk about my C. At least I can say what happened outside of the class.
I was a different person in college. That's why you making me sound like that.
It's hilarious. No, it's funny that it seems
no,
you forgot
it was.
too. Like,
but not even from a education standpoint. I definitely remember and still feel that way. It's hard for me to study with people who just be like, oh, I'm gonna look it up on the internet. Why? Learn it so you can answer the questions. Then you don't ever have to look it up again.
Speaking from someone who likes to look stuff up on the internet, that may be my way of learning it. Like I see somebody do it, now I can practice and learn it.
So what I'm saying is even now, I still feel that way. What I didn't apply it to was like life decisions. Trusting my instinct from that perspective. I looked at it only from an educational perspective. So I think now...
I don't understand. Do you want to expand on that or not?
I mean, I can. So me saying that was like, for example, I'm in statics, right? Statics, I got to the end of the semester, I probably got like a bunch of C's on stuff. If I got to the end of the semester and I passed the final, like I got like 47 out of 50 because I knew the concept. So once we got to the final,
the
and that's
was
my learning.
easy.
Yeah, the test is easy.
Practice so much.
I noticed. I done did it. I may have not had it right when we took the test, but after that I got it and now I'm good for the final, right? I learned it. So I wasn't applying that to like my better judgment when it comes to my life. That, hey, these books have told you certain things about your spiritual journey or your meditation or when you're in silence or how to assess your thoughts or like look at your thoughts as clouds or feelings as clouds. Like I'm knowing these things here, but not trusting that and using that same concept that I would for statics in my life. Like now it's time for me to make a decision or I'm at the final. I ain't saying final for life. That's
I guess I'm confused because I guess the statics decision, you saying like the lesson you learned in getting a good grade in statics?
No.
That's why I'm confused.
I'm saying the concept of trusting that I know the material for truly what it is and not just learning it for that moment. That whole concept.
Oh, okay.
I'm
so
not
let me try
applying
and
it to
repeat. So you
books.
saying like us reading these books and then having to do this, you not just learning it so that you can just talk to people, but learning it because you've applied it to your life and you're practicing it.
What I'm saying is it's like I didn't do that with these type of books.
Okay.
Yes. I'm saying, but you said it as though I was doing it. I'm not doing it. And that's what I'm recognizing is that I'm not trusting myself with the information.
Okay. So I said it wrong though?
Yeah.
What part did I say wrong? I guess that's all.
You said it like I was doing it. I'm saying I'm not doing it. Everything you said was right, but you put it as in like you've been doing it, and I'm saying
I didn't mean it like you were doing it. I meant like that's what you were saying.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that was good for me. Just using my own brain. It makes me lazy relying on the books. So yeah, that was a good bar for me. You got some other joints?
I mean, I got plenty of bars. I mean,
it's a lot of quotes in this book, honestly. Like at the beginning of like different sections, he has all these quotes, and a lot of those quotes.
A man is rich in proportion to the number of things he can afford to let alone. Henry David Thoreau. Let's see, page 75. I just got stuff circled. It's lonely at the top. 99% of people in the world are convinced they are incapable of achieving great things, so they aim for the mediocre. The level of competition is thus fiercest for realistic goals, paradoxically making them the most time and energy consuming. It is easier to raise $1 million than it is 100,000. It is easier to pick up the one perfect 10 in the bar than the 5 8s. So another example of that in my head is, let me think, the level of competition. Oh, I used to say in college, majoring in business is harder. Not majoring, because you semantics people. Graduating with a business degree is more, what's the word? Tough. It's a harder job market than it is graduating with an engineering degree.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's not a lot of engineers. It's a lot of engineering jobs. Naturally, you should be able to find a job if you go through the tough process of getting a degree, the tough process. But if you, let's say business is a easier degree to get. If you go through the easier part of getting that business degree, everybody has a business degree. It's not a lot of business jobs. I was saying that freshman year, like, man, I can't imagine being in business school and having to keep being creative, coming up with ideas and
Yeah, for sure.
that, yeah.
And you got to think about, where am I going to work?
Am I working for myself? What
Yeah.
job
What
am
am
I
I
getting
doing?
that I just say I have a degree in business? I can do it all.
Right. All right. We create stress for ourselves because you feel like you have to do it. You have to. I don't feel that anymore. That was from Oprah Winfrey.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I like that.
Yeah.
I like that because it's almost like when people get to a certain level of rich and they got to have that aha moment of like, somebody, your assistant or something come to you because you this rich now, and they like, you got to do this, and this today, and then you just like, no, I don't.
I don't gotta do none of that.
I've worked myself to this spot just so that I could not
Choose what I do.
to do any of it. I'm not doing none of that on that list today. How about that?
None of that.
Oh my God, am I supposed to tell you no? Like, what am I supposed to do?
All right, so another area or bar, he talks about Pareto's law, and it's 80-20.
Come on now, don't look at me like I don't know 80-20, baby. Come on now.
80-20 rule,
Lean
which
Six
basically
Sigma.
says 20% of the sources causing you 80% of your problems and unhappiness. And there's 20% of the sources that are resulting in 80% of your desired outcome and happiness.
I can't wait to me and you do these exercises in here and share them.
Yeah.
So we should probably just, I'm gonna say one more bar,
Okay.
and then we can like move into like concepts and stuff like that.
Sure.
All right. So all courses of action are risky. Every single option. So prudence is not in avoiding danger, because that's impossible, but calculating risk and acting decisively. Make mistakes of ambition and not mistakes of sloth. Develop the strength to do bold things, not the strength to suffer. Niccolo Machiavelli, the Prince. What's that mean to you? Or I can try and...
Yeah, break it down.
All right, layman terms. Every decision you try and make is going to be some risk in it. Everything you do in the decision, because you don't know 100% of nothing when you're making the decision. All it's saying is if you're going to make a mistake, make it bold. Don't make it just letting stuff go with the flow or passively and stuff. It's just like they talk about in football. If you're going to make a mistake on a football field, make it hard and fast in the wrong way. We can adjust where you're going, but we can't really do nothing if you ain't got the effort there. We can like bring the bullseye in closer, but if you not even hitting the board and you not, I don't know if that's making sense no more now. If you ain't even running and giving the effort, we can't even direct you in the place because it's not gonna matter.
It's like daring greatly. Like
Yeah,
if you're gonna
all of
go
that.
out there and dare, do it greatly. Do it with everything behind you.
Mistakes are inevitable. So you trying to prepare to slow all these mistakes down is actually making you inefficient.
Absolutely.
And that's from Efficient Academy 4-Hour Work Week.
Absolutely. All right, so what was your favorite section or chapter?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to say, I'm gonna give two answers. My
Okay.
favorite chapter, just based off of how I currently live my life and aspire to live my life, would have to be Elimination for sure.
Okay.
So that's step 2. E is for elimination. My favorite part for where I'm at currently is probably like it's between the automation and the definition, just because I'm trying to do some entrepreneurial stuff now. So him literally breaking down different systems and ways to go about stuff in such detail was so helpful. Like I jotted down pages that I'm just going to literally go recreate and try and do myself, like from the brainstorming method all the way down to like the full life cycle. Just like, so those are like my favorite for like where I'm at right now. But for what I relate to in like my personal life and business life is the elimination for sure. Like so many different bars and concepts on how to eliminate clutter and get more productive and create that space that I keep talking about. Because if you always in survive mode, you don't have enough time to even reflect and get better.
Absolutely. I definitely identify with elimination, step 2, elimination the most. It was just so eye-opening. And he even hit stuff in liberation, or even like the last but not least section where he kind of just reminds you of everything. And that went back to elimination that just resonated with me. But I would say as far as like what I'm going through in life right now, liberation was really good for me.
Ooh,
just
bars.
And really the fact that he entitled that and what he talked about of how to escape this cycle that you in of work and getting yourself out of that, and just talking about this mobile lifestyle.
Literally, this is so on time and such a blessing for us with like this step-by-step nature. Like we are at the right, like this book came at exactly the right point for, because I was worried about packing and stuff and all that other stuff.
He started talking about packing it.
Boom.
I was like, ooh,
I'm about to do it to the T.
He got like a list of like, this is what I took to Costa Rica. This.
The buy it when you dare concept. Like I just need to hear somebody say it. Of course, it logically makes sense in your head, but emotionally, you just like, but I need it, right? Like I need it. Yeah. Or what?
I need an umbrella. Am I right?
Buy another umbrella.
Right.
You packing now. You got more space and stuff. You just gonna throw it away when you get there.
Come on, huh? So
the liberation relates so much to elimination for me, because liberation just talks so much about why you need to do the elimination. Because first you just read the elimination like, yeah, all that makes sense. And then liberation like, good. Now do it, nigga. And you just like,
oh wait,
hold on, but that's my favorite shirt.
Yeah. Even in the elimination, when it talked about it saying like, do not multitask, right? Doing more to feel productive while actually accomplishing less is like so big in like the work culture to me, corporate America. Like he was talking about, you could just run around the office with your phone to your ear and papers in your hand. People think you're doing
something. Told me that my first internship.
Yeah.
Boss sat me down and told me, hey, if you want to just look good, it's all about looking the show too. Told me that like, hey, don't walk slow around the plant. Walk like you're going somewhere.
Yep.
And people he gave me all those little tidbits about like, do this, and this, and
people gonna think you doing it. I ain't doing nothing.
Gotta play the game sometimes.
Yeah, you definitely gotta play the game sometimes. Elimination was just a really good chapter. I even thought about like, and I started doing my little activities, right? So there's activities in the book that he challenges you to do, questions you can ask yourself, write this down, make this list. Super good stuff. I'm doing some of them, but like one of my things on like what causes me most of my discomfort or stress, how many clothes I have, like on laundry day, just drives me nuts. It drives me nuts, but I also love to wear my clothes. So it's like I'm like, but that elimination chapter cleared it up. Like, it's going to be hard at first, but once you start tossing out this stuff, if I could get rid of that, I could definitely get rid of this.
Getting rid of the piece. Once you roll down, just go. Let it all go.
Hey, my closet's about to get crazy.
But you know what it's going to turn into? Your closet's going to get crazy with new stuff. And you're just going to keep having elimination recycles. And you're going to learn that I'm just changing with the times. Now I'm just getting flyer and flyer. I just
give me like 10 good fits for the times.
Like, guess what? Time for some new stuff. New year, new Lindsay.
Buy it when you get there.
I shot when I
land in London.
Woo, you know now you talking.
I'm a shot when I land in London.
Now you talking crazy. It's stuff with tags on it. I never even got to it. I didn't get past outfit number 3.
Oh, man. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to give on?
Man, just concept. So I just really wanted to elaborate more because I feel like we got time now.
For sure.
We ain't got to rush this.
For sure.
Principles over methods. Mm-hmm. I want to read about that for a little bit, but I just want to give like one example because it's and this is, just a little bit of my ego. It's some concepts in here that I feel like I've been talking about for like years that I just never been able to like articulate like this.
Yeah, I got one too.
Selective ignorance. I love to play dumb.
That's his thing. When I read that, I immediately was like,
That has been my bar since I was like 5.
huh? I don't know.
What?
All right, so there's a little blurb in here about.
Oh wait, do I need to say what selective ignorance
yeah, you
is?
probably
I guess
do. Go ahead.
you just assuming
Yeah,
everybody know what that is, right? Hold on, I gotta find it. Go ahead, do what you're doing, and I'll
Alright,
say
cool.
what it is.
So
look it up.
there was a concept about a fat man in a red BMW convertible, and
I
that
remember
resonated.
this one, so I like this. Go ahead.
It resonated actually for me and you, just because he talks about basically him and his friend saw this dude in a fat man in a red convertible, basically going through like some midlife crisis or whatever. Actually, I'm gonna just read it. All right. Let me see, where should I saw? All right, cool. Before I escaped the U.S. to avoid taking a Uzi into McDonald's, at which I saw my future in another fat man in a midlife crisis BMW. I simply looked at those who were 15 to 20 years ahead of me on the same track, whether a director of sales or entrepreneur in the same industry, and it scared the hell out of me. So he was talking about him and his friend kind of keep each other on track. Whenever one of us begin to set our sights lower, lose faith, or accept reality, the other would chime in via the phone or email like an AA sponsor. Dude, are you turning into a bald, fat man in a red BMW convertible? The prospect was terrifying enough that we would always get our asses up and priorities back on track immediately. That the worst that could happen wasn't crashing and burning. It was to accept terminal boredom as a tolerable status quo. Really enjoy
Say that last part again.
That's a bar, ain't it?
That's a bar.
The worst that could happen wasn't crashing and burning. It was accepting terminal boredom as a tolerable status quo.
Working just to work.
And then it says, remember, boredom is the enemy, not some abstract failure. Some failure you made up. That's good. That's good.
That's tough.
That's tough.
All right, you good?
Yep, go ahead.
Selective ignorance.
All right.
Cultivating selective ignorance. Love the even chapter title, and it starts with a bar. There are many things of which a wise man might wish to be ignorant. That's Ralph Waldo Emerson. He came up with that in 1800.
He been on game.
1800, baby.
He been hit.
1800, baby. Shout out to the 1900s.
Shout out.
We still out here.
We still here, dog.
All right.
We the last of them now.
Ignorance may be bliss, but it is also practical. It is imperative that you learn to ignore or redirect all information and interruptions that are irrelevant, unimportant, or unactionable. Most or all three. It's like a Bible. The first step is to develop and maintain a low information diet. That means I'm minding my business. You know who that sounds like? Yep. Hey, chill out. Just as modern man consumes both too many calories and calories of no nutritional value, aka you're fat, information workers eat data both in excess and from the wrong sources. You just out here eating all the junk information. Lifestyle design is based on massive action output. Increased output necessities decreased input. Most information is time consuming, negative, irrelevant to your goals, and outside of your influence. I challenge you to look at whatever you read or watch today and tell me that it wasn't at least 2 of the 4. All right, man. Look, I think it's like one more page in here about this, and I can like wrap this up real quick to you.
Sure.
Yeah, none of this part matters, but
Don't give it to the people, man. Don't give it to the people.
yeah. Either way, it's just saying how to use selective ignorance as a tool.
Which, honestly, you already know how to use it. You use it all the time.
Oh, I know. I'm trying to help other people, man.
Just tell them then. They don't need what's in there. Tell
Well,
them.
this is a guide. So, and again, if you want layman terms,
Yeah.
act dumb. Act dumb. Whatever that means to you. And don't not like dumb like you can't hear what they saying or something. Still respond, but just I don't know nothing about that.
Really, I think because you don't really. What it's talking about is you're not really taking in all this information because it's irrelevant. So you like, yeah, I heard you. Okay, I don't know. Now,
But
I
make
have
sure
no
it's
idea.
literally logic based for you to understand if it's irrelevant. That's why I say it's a principle. If what they're asking me is something that I am not able to action, I am not able to control, And it's something I truly don't really know a lot about. Like,
Right.
you can gauge it. If I don't know at least like 50% or something relevant to the topic, I can't even help you on that. I ain't really acting dumb. I just really don't. I don't know nothing to help you with that.
I don't know.
If I had a solution, I would propose it.
But I don't got one.
I don't even know. I'm broke, baby.
don't
I'm
even
broke. All right. Another comfort challenge I saw in there as well that was funny
Go ahead.
was something that you and Londa Don talked about. How to read 200% faster in
Yo,
10 minutes.
that's what's crazy. I was like, oh my God, I got it in here. It's like, this is what I'm gonna take for the book. How to read faster.
Okay, tell us about it. Then, did you try it?
Yeah, I tried it. I couldn't.
I already knew. I was like,
tried
I read it. I was like, let's go try this and be like, it didn't work for me.
I ain't
Like,
gonna say it
I'm
didn't
not gonna
work.
lie.
I'm gonna say I need to practice it. So I ain't have time to really like.
All right, tell me about it.
practice.
Tell me.
All right,
help
so,
some other people learn how to read 200% faster.
The
in 10
biggest thing
minutes.
he said was like using your fingers to skim, right? And then as you do that, you're kind of picking up like the first 3 letters of the sentence and the last 3 letters of the sentence, and then using your peripheral to really like understand the rest of the sentence.
Funny, that's how I read, honestly. That's just how, like, as reading so much, that's how I like.
I
read.
make too many mistakes when I do that. Like what I read will not make sense at the end of it because I'll be like assuming the absolutely wrong shit.
You think you're dyslexic? Like, you reading some words and putting it.
Yeah, I got you. It was just funny how you said it. Go ahead.
I mean, I was trying to say it not in a way that makes it seem like I'm trying to like joke on you or something. I was trying to say it serious. It still didn't fucking work.
You think you're dyslexic? Sure, I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, like, do
made
you
it
think
this
that, like, when you say you're making mistakes, did you imply the wrong thing, or did you literally read the wrong thing in your head and change words out, or like,
Yeah,
I'm trying
I
to
probably
what
read the
happened?
wrong thing in my like. I saw DI and I said discriminate instead of disproportion or something. Like I'm just okay. And then
I don't know how to spell. See, I'm not good with English and grammar. I was like, how you spell discriminate? Go ahead.
It's a DI, right? Discriminate.
Don't get me the line. I don't even want to go on record on that. Because I already said what would be funny is an adult spelling bee. An adult tipsy spelling bee would be funny every time. You want to have a game night?
I feel like you
Adult
know how to
spelling bee.
spell when you lit. Like I don't think you forget how to spell stuff.
Give me Wednesday when I'm lit.
Get out of here, boy.
Wednesday.
I'm pretty sure majority of intoxicated people
What's
know how to
the one
spell.
that be getting me? It's something with like that. It's not distinct. It's
I'ma tell you what
it's a
get me.
DI, it's another DI one. It ain't eventually.
License always gets me.
License? No, I'm cool with license.
You cool with license?
I'm cool with license.
Okay.
Distinctively? Nah, it's something with a...
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yes, I
gets
did.
me at the end. Is some stuff in there. It gets me.
Definitely. Okay.
Definitely. Spell it. Go on record right now. Spell it.
DEFINITELY. Definitely.
I don't know. But I'm going to check. I'm going to put it at the bottom
we
of
gonna
this.
check. DE.
All right. Where were you going
All
somewhere?
right. So I think I was basically going to ask you, is there a story in your life that relates? You said you had one earlier, so I will definitely want to get that.
I feel like I always start story time. Oh, yeah. So a good story. Ooh, I do want to see this principles, though. Let me look at this principle things first, but I know a story.
Okay.
I remember it was a lady in there talking about a story, so I want to try and find her story where she was talking about how, maybe the Mexican fisherman. That's a good story. You remember the Mexican fisherman story?
Oh yeah,
It's
when
a
he
lot
was
of
chilling.
stuff. He
That
was
was
chilling
so
already.
good.
You want to tell that one? It's
Yeah.
page-
I'm a paraphrase
It's
it.
252.
Okay,
if you
cool,
want to
cool.
look at it.
That was such a good.
That's
story.
a good story. And then I want to tell the story about it was a lady that did something. I gotta find that. I probably put it in stories. 292 and 150. 292, 150, 246.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and hook you up on this
Do your
Mexican
thing.
fisherman. All right, so basically, this American dude took a vacation. He met this Mexican in a doctor's office or something. The next morning, he walked to the pier. Small boat was there. This dude was fishing. Long story short, he basically asked him like what he did with all his free time, and he was like, he said, "I sleep late. I fish a little. I play with my children. Take a siesta with my wife, Julia, stroll into the village each evening where I sip wine, play guitar with my amigos, and have a full and busy life, senor." So the dude was like, "Man, if you just would catch a few more fish, you could you could get another boat, and then if you get one more boat, you can get a whole like slew of boats, and then if you do that, then you can make this corporation, and then you can move to L.A., then New York, and then you can do this. And he was like, all
What
right.
next?
He was
What's after
like,
that?
then what I do, right? He was like, you can make millions. He was like, then what? He said, then you could retire and move to a small coastal fishing village where you would sleep late, fish a little, play with your kids, take a siesta with your wife, stroll in the village in the evenings where you could sip wine and play guitar with your amigos. So obviously the point was he was already doing what the goal
I'm going to do
was.
15 years of work.
He asked
to
him
get
like
back
how
to
long
the
it was going
same
to take. He
point.
was like, I don't know, 15, 20 years, something like that. Also, I can make millions so I can do what I'm already doing right now. So a lot of people look at money and all this stuff in the middle, and really what you get into or what you're doing right now is probably what you want to do. It could be, or it could not be. But this book gonna help you figure that out.
Big facts.
All right,
That was
go
great.
Okay.
I think I got some stuff over here. All right.
All right.
So Robin Rummel, who spent a year traveling through South America with her husband and 7-year-old son, was warned by friends and family not to visit Argentina after their devaluation riots in 2001. She did her homework and decided that the fear was unfounded and proceeded to have the time of her life in Patagonia. When she told locals that she was originally from New York, their eyes widened and jaws dropped. I saw those buildings blow up on TV. I would never go to such a dangerous place. Don't assume that places abroad are more dangerous than your hometown. Most aren't. I wanted to bring that to the story of us going to Brazil. It was Zika time. It was like
man.
we had already booked. No, we ain't even booked a flight yet. It was probably 8 months before the Olympics is about to happen, the 2016 Olympics. So this is like late 2015. The Zika outbreak is all over the place.
Yep.
Everybody's saying how bad Brazil is. They showing stuff on TV of people getting beat up in the streets and robbed. They are trying to not get people to come to Brazil.
It was crazy.
And we had already committed in like 2012 when we was graduating college in Trevor's office. Yo, we going to the 2016 Olympics.
We going.
We said that 4 years ago. We said 2014, we confirmed again. Like
Yep.
Olympics, like 2 years away. It's in
Well, we
Brazil.
go.
We
We
already
going.
know we going, right? We said we going regardless.
He booked his flight. He ain't even tell me.
I mean, kind of true. I told everybody I was going. Everybody dropped out. It was like 10 people interested. It was
Yep.
big trip list. 12, 20.
Yep.
We kept dropping down. Nah, I don't know. All right, cool. You get down to about 6 people. I'm like, hey, y'all, I see an amazing flight deal
Yep.
today. I am going to book this flight with insurance because I do not know what's going to happen in the world. So I'm just letting you know, I am scared. I have done a little bit of research, not much. So I'm not telling you what to do. I am booking that flight though. So don't say I didn't tell you when the Olympics come around 7 months later.
How was it when we got over there?
It was pretty, I mean, it was, I ain't gonna lie to you. It was a mix of both. And I think it was a mix of both just because we had our precautions, because also around the Zika outbreak, it was still like terrorist attacks happening randomly and stuff. So it's a lot to be worried about. And then the stuff they're showing on TV is real, but I think I messaged Airbnb hosts, and I talked to somebody that was a classmate of mine that lived in Brazil somewhere, and they was like, that's not real like that. I had seen people on Instagram that was going to Brazil like 2 weeks before, standing in the beach and stuff. They was like, the footage they showing is from like 2 years before, and like that. So pretty much, and also they were showing areas of the construction sites that wasn't done for the Olympic Village. They're showing it's gonna be like a bad time. We get over there, stuff is good. Like they got areas set up. It's a lot of people with like guns on, but that's security because you want that.
You felt safe.
You felt safe. Because it's like, oh, at the major touristy spots that they know people gonna be at, if terrorists want to pop off, we here.
We
ready. Don't get
I
me
felt
wrong.
safe. I was like, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
It felt very safe just walking around and stuff. The people were very nice, excited to see Americans and stuff like that. Like,
sure.
And then you see, of course, when you're going with such a big time, it's not like a regular thing. You got all these different people from the world there. So when you see other Americans, you feel safe. That's how we ended up talking to some people. And
Got some free tickets.
Free ticket. Amazing trip.
It was amazing.
Trip of a lifetime.
Yeah. For
All
sure.
2016.
All summer 16.
Come on,
for
man.
Sure. All right. I obviously my biggest story is just like seeing how it applies to like where I'm at in life right now. About before I read this book, I was like, I gotta get out of this 9 to 5. I gotta figure out something else. I can't keep doing this. So just that it resonates with where I'm at right now. It's probably the biggest thing that pertains to my life. Is
Can I
there?
ask you a question that like
Yeah,
is personal? So
sure.
like, you know,
Talk to me.
you got your new job, new role.
Mm-hmm.
Do you regret getting your new role? Like, do you feel like if you could have been in your other role and been better off with like, I guess, being able to get a routine and managing time and stuff, or you feel like it's about the same? Like,
I knew that role better, so I was more comfortable.
mm-hmm.
But this role was necessary, one, for me to get out of my comfort zone and then continue to do that. So if that's my goal, is to continue to be uncomfortable, and I'm doing it, and so I don't regret it at all. No.
Bet.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely more difficult, but I'm embracing all of that.
All right. Well, yeah. What can you take from this and apply right now then?
All right. One, read faster, for sure. Use my finger, catching the 3 words. It was a dream line in there, which basically just has you basically say 5 things within 6 months. You make this timeline, 6 months, 12 months.
Hell yeah, we
You
definitely
pick 5
doing those.
things that you, what is it? You want to do, you want to be, and you want to have.
You setting up many retirements, many almost like bucket lists, one thing per category, and you're gonna do them.
Right. So having, doing, and being. So just list 5 things you want to have, 5 things you want to do, 5 things you want to be, and then create those being into actionable type items. Like, I want to be this type of person. If you want to be fluent in Chinese, you may want to have a conversation with someone that's Chinese that speaks Mandarin or whatever, right? So make those actionable items, and it basically has you line out like, how much is that gonna cost? And then you get, what is it, TMI? Is it some acronym he used for basically a monthly income, or a monthly the monthly income.
Yeah, I
that you
think it's
have
like
to,
TMI.
target monthly income.
Yep, TMI. You're right.
That you want to hit to be able to reach all those goals. And so he has you highlight like 4. So it's a whole little thing that I'm going through, but ultimately that applies again to what I'm doing right now. I as well as the 80-20 rule, the Pareto's law, about like what 80% of things, or what 20% of things in your life are responsible for 80% of your happiness and your joy, and what 20% is responsible for 80% of your unhappiness and all that. So that I'm just using that applies for sure. I know for me, clutter is a big thing for me, and I gotta do stuff about it. So that's causing a big percentage of that. So working on that.
Ooh, the art of letting bad things happen and stuff.
It's some. This book, maybe we ain't said it enough. I don't know if I hyped it enough. It's good.
This book is amazing.
It's not a super easy read because there's a lot of like practices and fact stuff. But if you really are wanting to be more efficient, it was good because it aligned with what I'm looking to do. So it's gonna be harder to read if you ain't trying to do none of this. If you scared, you don't want a new life, you don't want to live something different, don't read it because it ain't for you. And it's gonna be hard to read, but there's some bars in there.
Woo! All right. This is the last thing I want to leave that I'm applying and that I kind of wanted to share to make sure other people know. When I was talking about principles over methods, I'm just trying to round it out. As to methods, there may be a million and then some, but principles are few. The man who grasps principles can successfully select his own methods. The man who tries methods, ignoring principles, is sure to have trouble. All that's saying, and that was Ralph Waldo Emerson again. All that's saying is, what I like to say if I'm like working with teams or something or trying to delegate and stuff, is like, it's plenty of ways to do stuff. All styles get results. All leadership styles are going to produce some form of results. The part is you got to learn the principles. All the principles are the things that if you can grasp those and get the root principles going with people, the tools your team chooses to use don't really matter at the end of the day. They're going to get the results because you got the principles right. So I wanted to make sure I said that. And then like, here's some stuff that was talking about, like, if you're trying to do like service and stuff, trying to figure out which service and causes you want to do. And I really like this section of don't let people try and cause shame you. That like your cause is less than the cause they trying to support, or this cause is better than that one.
Because you don't know how it's going to affect it downstream.
Exactly.
I ain't mean to say
no, I didn't. It ain't my thunder. It's his thunder.
True.
So I really just wanted to make sure that was said, because like, this is what I like to use for selective ignorance. So I like, again, the cumulative part of thinking. When I read this part, what is the meaning of life? Fails the first and thus the second. So the 2 questions they asked before spending time on inducing question. And I thought this was big for people that have like overthinking or anxiety. Before spending time on a stress-inducing question, big or otherwise, ensure that the answer is yes to the following 2 questions. 1, have I decided on a single meaning for each term in this question? 2, can an answer to this question be acted upon to improve things? So that's just saying, 1, do I know really what this question is saying from every word they use? So was that person impeccable with their words to ask that question? That's 1. 2, can I act on this? That's the same thing I was asking with the selective ignorance. Is there something I can do about this? So if somebody's talking about their feelings or something, you can respond with, what can I do to make you feel better right now? If they say, I don't know, where we going, baby? What we doing?
What we doing, huh?
What we doing?
What we gonna do, baby?
So just stuff like that. And then lastly, I wanted to end with a poem.
Oh, yeah, the poem was good. Go ahead. Go for it.
Do you want to read it?
Nah, you do
You
it.
want to take turns reading? I read the stanza. You read the stanza?
All right, let's go. What
Page
you
306.
on? 306, all right.
Okay, so I'll start.
Yeah.
This is called Slow Dance. Have you ever watched kids on a merry-go-round or listened to the rain slapping on the ground?
Ever followed a butterfly's erratic flight or gazed at the sun into the fading night? You better slow down. Don't dance so fast.
Time is short. The music won't last. Do you run through each day on the fly?
When you ask, how are you? Do you hear the reply? When the day is done, do you lie in your bed?
With the next 100 chores running through your head, you better slow down. Don't dance so fast.
Time is short. The music won't last. Ever told your child, we'll do it tomorrow?
And in your haste, not see his sorrow? Ever lost touch? Let a good friendship die?
'Cause you never had time to call and say hi? You better slow down. Don't dance so fast.
Time is short. The music won't last. When you run so fast to get somewhere, you miss half the fun of getting there.
When you worry and hurry through your day, it is like an unopened gift thrown away. Life is not a race. Do take it slower.
And together, hear the music before the song is over.
Hey, this has been another ZTP,
Zen Trap Perspective. And if you don't do nothing, make sure you remember, protect your peace and protect your energy.
We out.
We out. Welcome to the trap.